All right, so right now I have some coffee. You can see it has a lot of cream in it. The coffee itself was weak. I also have a plate of bacon and eggs, and this is what I usually eat in the morning. I don't like eggs. Usually, I'll put frozen vegetables in the eggs, and that makes them a lot more tolerable. But okay, so anyway, I wanted to explain the first reason why I first started thinking about trying meat as opposed to actually eating the foods that I was eating before. One of the main reasons was, we'll say like 2016, I started watching these videos about religion and debates between people, or conversations between people who believe and people who don't believe. And I found a lot of those conversations to be very fascinating. Through some of those channels, every now and again there'd be a caller who would ask about, veganism or whatever. And I always felt as though the people I was listening to were really good at coming up with good reasons for things, but they never seemed to have a good reason why people should continue to eat meat when asked by a vegan, for example. Or I'd be watching other debate channels, and sometimes they would just have a debate, a real debate between a meat eater and a vegan or something like that, a vegetarian and a vegan. And they would just be sort of talking to each other, which one of these should we do and why. And again, I thought that the meat eater side never really had much to say. But I always had an idea in the back of my mind that, meat eating is something that we should be doing. It is something that is necessary. And that there's something off about the vegan side of things. I'm kind of eating and recording at the same time. I just want to mention that bacon in Japan is not bacon. It's the closest I can get to bacon, but I recognize it's not bacon. Anyway, at the end of all of this, and this is earlier this year, this summer basically, I've continued to watch these this entire time. I was having a class with a student who I feel, first of all, her level is very high, so we can have just a normal conversation with each other. But I also felt as though, she has her head on straight, right? And so at the end of one of our classes, we were kind of talking about it just a little bit. And I was like, if the world decided that we were going to go vegan, I really wouldn't fight it. I felt like I didn't have a good argument or anything for why we shouldn't. And it seemed to be very strong on the opposite side. And it was the very end of class. And she goes, well, I would fight it. Or something along those lines. And I'm like, wait, so here's this person I've been talking to. I feel like we have been, I feel like she's a relatively, reasonable person. Like, she has her head on straight, right? So if she was able to find some kind of reason for why she would fight, for why she would say, no, we're going to continue to eat meat and I'm going to fight for my right to continue to eat meat, what could that possibly be, right? So I didn't have a chance to ask her to go any deeper into it, but I was fascinated by the fact that, she said it just so boldly. That was one of the first things that got me thinking there must be something on the other side. One of the reasons why I use so much cheese is because I don't like the taste of the egg, and it really helps, if I can just be honest. And one thing about it is that it's very salty. That's I think one of the main things about it I don't like as much. Because it's the first meal of the day, I still have this idea in the back of my head that I should be careful about what I'd eat or how I eat it. And so I don't want to shock my stomach by giving it something too spicy first thing. But some people in America will put Tabasco on their eggs. I think I might start doing that. I mean, it's salty enough, but not the biggest fan of eggs. So I'm basically finished with that. And this will tide me over until the evening, basically. Right now it's noon. I probably won't even think about food again further until 4, 5. And I'll think about what to eat after that. I feel like I'm noticing for the first time that the design on the side of this cup actually goes to the bottom of the cup. I think I've never had a reason to look at the bottom of the cup before. So after I had that conversation with her, I decided I was going to find, whatever it was, it could possibly be that had her feel that way. Because I always felt in the back of my mind there must be something. And so that was basically one of the main reasons why I decided to start this thing. Alright, so anyway, thank you for joining me in this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you again in another one. And the weather has cooled off quite a bit, so I'm looking forward to getting up and out of the house more, and perhaps I'll be able to show some more sites around Nagoya. So please look forward to that. Catch you on the flip side.